Hi Sag, welcome back to your channel. I'm going to be doing a family, friends, children, and pets reading for you today. The timestamps will be in the description box down below and also in the comment section if you want to skip ahead to a portion. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. All right, Sag, this is your family portion. So we're going to jump right in. And with your family, I am seeing that we do have the completely done card. I feel like this is coming out because you could see that certain cycles, maybe generational curses, a way of doing things, maybe the traditional way of doing things, a lot of the people in your family are walking away from. They could be done with the drama, done with the fighting, done with one sided connections, done with maybe relationships that they're in. They could be moving away from a job. They could be traveling, okay, or relocating. So I feel like your family is going through an ending of a cycle, and it feels like you guys won't be repeating this. Like it will never be the same as it once was. And this may be a positive thing for you, or you may feel negatively towards it. Just depends on the family dynamic. I'm also seeing that a lot of your family members could be single during this season. All right, so going even into 2026, there could be, relationships that are breaking up, or people are just really single right now. They're not really dating, or there's no significant person in their life. So you have a lot of single men or women in your family. And I do see that they are focused on their independence, they're focused on their freedom, maybe rediscovering themselves with that energy. Okay. If you had family members who were in toxic connections, those are coming to an end, and you may be able to see a positive resurgence in that family member. They're coming out more, they're more talkative, they're more chatty. They are just more in the picture versus maybe isolating themselves when they're going through something really bad. All right, this one is funny. We have Ravenous. Now, this energy for your family is interesting. We have uncontrollable desires, okay? So you could see that your family could be partying more. Maybe they're going to be drinking more. Maybe you're realizing that a certain uncle or a certain sibling all of a sudden is a big weed smoker, like it feels like a lot of desire. This also talks about having an appetite for sex. We know that sounds crazy. Okay. We know that a lot of people in your family are single, so they could be a little bit more freedom loving and free with their middle piece, okay? As long as they're being safe, who cares? And there's a hunger for pleasure. So I am predicting that you're going to have a lot of fun with your family next year. 2026 could be a time that you guys do family trips, or you guys do family hangouts, family dinners. You guys go out together, hit the club together, go shopping together. There's this energy of wanting pleasure for your family. So they could be more prone to doing activities that involve that. Lots of turning up, okay? All right. Now, we also have bouquet. This is very positive. This talks about your family becoming happier, being in harmony with each other, people getting more beautiful or more handsome. Okay, so people's aesthetics looking refreshed, looking lively, being very creative. So creative joint efforts, or seeing that a lot of your family are starting to express their interests that have something to do with creativity, like music, art, things like that. Also gifts. Okay, so I do see your family moving into an energy of generosity. So it could be a gift exchange, or maybe even this Christmas more people are showing up for each other, giving gifts, showing their gratitude. Art as well. So art could be a big theme between you and your family. You could be doing a paint and sip that brings in the art, and that brings in the fun. Okay, so maybe like a paint and sip, or maybe going to concerts together, things like that. Showing a lot of gratitude, being more expressive with their emotions or how they're feeling, not hiding, not isolating. Having a special appreciation for you and appreciation for each other, being open, loving more, and a lot of warmth coming from your family. So, really positive energy. We have Helm. So it feels like a lot of people in your family are starting to figure out their life purpose or their next direction, their next steps, and being self starters. Okay. So a lot of people are trying to figure out their lives right now, but I do feel like in 2026, your family is going to have it together. Everybody's going to find their place, their role, and hold up that responsibility. They also could take a lot of pride out of staying out of drama, staying out of chaos. So I see a lot of relationships ending in your family. Okay, that just were not aligned. Being more in control of their life, being more in control of their decisions, being more decisive, exploring more, enjoying freedom from whatever was holding them back in the past, having a lot of self determination, acting out of a place of wisdom. So, a lot of family members that you consider to be immature, you're going to see that they have matured, they've grown a ton. Yeah, and going places. Okay, so your family also could be very successful in their endeavors and their goals next year, where you'll see that everybody is actually going places. Everybody's proud. I'm so proud of you. Wow, I knew you would achieve that. Oh my God, who did that? They did that. Okay, cool. All right, and then we have geese here. So there's an energy of being together, togetherness. This is being on a quest, so there could be a joint path that you and your family will take a lot of pride in and make a big focus in 2026. Migration, family could be moving towards you or you're moving towards family. So it could be like you live in California, you have family that lives in Miami. You're hearing that they're moving to Miami and they're going to live with maybe their most intimate family members and they'll be around more. So things like that. Relocation, being more dependable, knowing where they're going. I think so many people struggle with confusion in life. I know I do. And so it's just a good thing when the collective energy of your family is that we all have a bright idea and we know what we're doing. So that's a nice. Leaving no one behind. I think that's so important in family. So if there's someone who's struggling, someone who may be stuck in confusion, someone who needs an extra push, I see that your family is coming together to uplift this person. And ending cycles and faithfulness or loyalty is a big theme. So if you never felt like your family had any loyalty, they definitely are showing up better moving into the new year. And also faithfulness can talk about even like religion or whatever theory you have about life, but just instilling more of that into your life, in your kids' life, things like that. So going to church together, things like that. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and pull some cards. Tell me about Sagi's family. What can Sagittarius expect to happen with their family moving forward? What's the energy? Who could be coming towards them? Anything that they need to know. Give me some messages for my Saggies. Tell me about their family. I definitely see relocation. I definitely see like a fast move. So something could be happening very soon, like beginning of next year. Okay. All right, bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. So you do have some new family bonds that you will be forming, people that whoever these family members are, maybe you weren't really that close to them in the past, but moving forward, you are establishing some type of emotional bond with them. Okay, could be someone that you consider, sneaky or someone that you really just didn't trust. Maybe someone that you always purposely kept space between you two because you didn't trust their intentions. They come off kind of shady, kind of dodgy. You feel like they do things that you don't like, okay? But it feels like you're going to be forming a real deep connection with this person next year, okay? So you may start to change your mind about someone that you felt like was a liar or shady or deceitful or just someone you didn't want around because you felt like they always had bad intentions. That could be turning around in 2026, okay? All right, so the cards coming out for your family, we do have the Three of Wands. Oops, okay. We have the Eight of Wands. And we also have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so lots of Wands energy surrounding your family. You could have a lot of fire in your family. So a lot of Aries, a lot of Leos, a lot of Sagittariuses. This also shows like excitement. There's a lot of excitement coming into your family energy. There's a lot of self-starting energy, being very assertive, motivating energy coming into your family and lots of momentum. So if your family has had a lack or people have been very stagnant, there's a lot of forward movement in 2026, okay? Now, Three of Wands lets me know that there is someone who is planning a move, and it could be closer to family. So there's like this new energy that may not be around often that's going to be around more often, basically. I also see a lot of strategy. So a lot of your family could be planning for something that they're expecting to happen soon. This could mean a lot of things. Maybe someone's expecting to get married soon, so they're planning a wedding. Maybe someone's expecting that someone's going to be passing soon, so we're planning that. We're just, planning ahead. We need to be on top of things, on top of this person's health. We need to, make sure we have all their documents together. We need to make sure that we're close, okay? So there's a lot of planning here for something. Also could be planning a family reunion as well with that Three of Wands. So let me go ahead and clarify that. Tell me about the Three of Wands for Sagittarius family. What is this? This is the Page of Pentacles, okay? So also too, there's this energy of learning from each other. So there's obviously very wise individuals in your family, doesn't matter the age. And there's obviously people who may not have that wisdom yet, but they have an eagerness to learn, okay? So there's a lot of learning from each other. Maybe learning how to cook, learning how to, structure your finances, learning how to cope. Okay, there's a lot of learning here, like teaching and learning and receiving wisdom and, holding it in, practicing it for yourself. So there's a lot of learning here. Also, when it comes to maybe Eight of Swords energy, which is like a victim state or self-sabotage or imposter syndrome, being nervous about your future, self-doubt. There's a lot of lessons here coming from that. Maybe like through storytelling. Like I remember grandma's, telling the story about when they went to college and they were so afraid because, are they going to be able to make it in society? And then they were dead broke. And then they kept working hard and then they were able to structure themselves. Then they met your granddad. So through stories and hearing your family's struggles and hearing also their wins in life does inspire the collective of your family. Okay. All right. Let's see what else is here. Also planning to go back to school. So there could be a lot of people in your family members who are older who want to go back to school or may not be like in their 18, 20, 21 energy. They may be older, but they want to go back to school. They want to learn something or they want to get a degree. All right, let's see what else is here. All right, Ace of Pentacles as well. So there's a lot of learning about how to flip your money. Like, what does it mean to save? What does it mean to invest? What should we do for generational wealth? What roles do we need to play? What efforts do we need to make? That becomes a thing. So finance is definitely going to be a topic between you and your family members. Whoever's considered successful may share their secrets. Whoever is in the process of doing something and has seen progress, maybe sharing their secrets. It's a lot of teaching, okay, and helping each other to learn or find ways to make more money or to build generational wealth. All right, so that looks really good. Okay. Also, we have the Eight of Wands here. So lots of momentum connected to your family. You guys are going to be achieving your goals super fast. Super, super fast. If this includes even the young family members, like your children, the grandchildren, I feel like they're developing really quickly in next year, okay? With that Eight of Wands. There also could be a trip or travels, a group trip, a family trip coming up for you. Tell me about that Eight of Wands. There's lots of back and forth communication. I'm thinking of like group chats or FaceTime calls or text messages back and forth. Maybe that family member who tends to isolate themselves are becoming more chatty and wanting to express themselves more. Maybe that's you, okay? So there's a lot of communication circulating between you guys and consistent energy. Like no one's flaking, no one's taking too long to reply. Everybody's kind of like giving a good effort. All right, 10 of Cups. Yeah, family energy. So lots of communication, lots of traveling to see each other back and forth, taking a group trip even, lots of progress, joint progress. Okay, what is this? Eight of Cups as well. It feels like your family could be walking away from things that they attach themselves to. So whether that's like people, connections, environments, maybe a certain mindset of how you're supposed to do things in life, or even if this is like a vice, maybe someone had a really bad vice. It feels like a lot of people are walking away to what they used to escape from, or what they need to, okay. There's something here that someone leaned on emotionally when they were feeling really sad or angry. So again, I don't know, there's like an emotional addiction that someone's letting go of, or a group of your family members are letting go of. And this allows a lot of forward movement. Now, I do see a lot of breakups. So maybe that's what it is. Okay. Things that were stagnating you guys or stagnating them, they're letting go of. Okay. This is the Hangman. So I see that as propelling you guys to have faster momentum, faster movement. Maybe it's one of those things like, you know, we have the family name, we have that title, we're meeting new people, we're dating, but these people are not aligned to our family. So letting them go, releasing them back where they came from, and then that allows for you guys to pick up speed on getting things done, saving money goals, traveling, you know, trips, things like that. We're able to do that because the chaos is gone. Okay. Now, Seven of Wands is here. There is this big protector energy coming from your family where you guys will be defending each other, which is very interesting. Okay. So I hope it's not a split. Like one side of the family is on this side, another side of the family is on this side. So there could be a family type of tension happening towards the end of 2026. Let's see. What's the Seven of Wands? Okay, so there is a split. There is a split here. All right, there's a split between who is going to repeat cycles and continue doing the things that they know that hold them back, and the people who are done with that, quitting that and letting go. So not everybody's letting go of their man or their woman, okay? Some people here are staying stuck in the same cycles. So I do see towards the end of the year, there's a split within the family. There's an energy of one side of the family consciously moving on, moving forward. There's another side of the family that's kind of just staying stuck. So I also get this too, Sag. It feels like this side of the family you don't even acknowledge. Like when you think of family, you don't think of them. So who are these people? Harpo, who is these people? Okay. And there's a split here. There's a little bit of tension. Okay. And the reason is the world, like closing out cycles, upgrading in life. One side of the family is learning some very tough lessons and they're not running from it. They're not escaping from it. They're going through it so that they can move on. And with the Ten of Pentacles, this creates a really great foundation to continue this legacy. But there's another side. Tell me about this other side here. What's going on with that? This could be one of those situations where, you know, you resonate with your mom's side of the family, but not your dad's. Or you resonate with your dad's side of the family, but not your mom's. So something like that. Tell me about this other side here. What's going on with that? All right, we have Empress. I think this is the Empress, yeah. And we have the Ace of Wands, okay? So it's like your whatever side of this family is, that could be a lot of tension and maybe they're not self-starting, they're not as assertive. I do feel like they are a little bit more spoiled with the Empress energy. They could be like spoiled brat energy, or maybe they work on what's handed to them versus doing a joint effort. And with that Ace of Wands, it's like they seem to be on the same pace, but it fizzles out very quickly. This is like having a hard time to stay motivated or even to stay grounded. Okay, so, you know, there's an entitled side of the family, and then there's a side of the family that knows that you see progress and blessings through hard work, through faith, those kind of things, or just changing yourself. So yeah, that side of the family you may still struggle with. And there is tension, okay? But I do feel like you are able to Defend yourself through actions. Like it shows plain as day the results versus who's working to better themselves and who's just waiting for someone to do it for them. There's clear results here. All right. Yeah, that's what I see with your family. So let's move on to your friendships. All right, welcome to your friendships portion. So let's talk about your friendships from now and moving into 2026. We have bottled up here. So I do see with your friendship group or your social circle, there's a tendency to not share, period. Not sharing emotions, not sharing what drama they're going through, not sharing their failures, not sharing their successes. It doesn't really feel like a friendship, okay? Because how are we not able to be vulnerable with each other? We're supposed to be close, you know? So there's an energy where you may start to feel like, I wonder if this person's really my friend, because it feels like either they don't trust me or they are struggling to open up to me. And maybe someone feels this way about you, okay? So it could be reversed. This talks about illusion. So you ever been in a situation, you're sitting there, but you feel like it's fake. So something like that. Keeping things inside, not opening up, and deception. Okay. Now we have fired up here. So also there's an angry friend in your social circle, or you could be coming across one, someone who does not know how to control their emotions, someone who does not know how to control their impulses. They could, fly off by just the slightest thing. Maybe this person draws you into chaos. Okay. So this talks about someone who fumes with rage, someone who can come off as overwhelming, an explosion of emotions, and very angry. All right, and then we have present here. So I guess this is just the energy that maybe you guys will be moving into. And it talks about feeling the moment, becoming aware today and in the now. But I also feel like this is like maybe how you feel currently about this friend group. Like some of them do not share, they bottle things up inside. Someone also here gets really angry, flies off the handle, that kind of thing. Okay, so I don't know about that. We have Fox here. So someone in your friend group could be of self-interest. They could come off very stealth-like. They come off deceitful. This person could be a redhead. I don't know, maybe not. This person could be very sharp. They're sleight of the hand. There's something off with them. Something feels wrong. They could be very cunning, but they're sly and they're crafty. So you do need to watch out for your friends. Watch yourself, okay? Because we also have Snake here. So Snake talks about deception, jealousy, betrayal, backstabbing, toxic, silent treatment, seduction, sexuality, and counterproductive. So it feels like someone could be a distraction here. Someone could be a little chaotic. Someone could be a little angry. And then we have Stallion. So this talks about breaking free. So maybe the universe is telling you you need to break free from these individuals. It talks about tame versus wild, strong emotions, desire, a driving force, unbridled, sexual energy. Sexuality and sexual energy is very big in this friend group for some reason. I don't know if it's a whole bunch of whores or a whole bunch of players, but maybe that's like a common interest. I don't know. All right, freedom and unleashing the inner beast. Okay, so let's just see what you can expect from this friend group. It just sounds like a lot of drama. I mean, that's whatever. If it's not your drama, then what can you do about that? But it does feel a little like heavy. It feels heavy for sure. All right, so tell me about Sagi's friend group for the rest of the year and moving into 2026. What does Sagittarius need to know about these friends? What can they expect? Who's coming towards them? Give me some messages. Okay. All right. Eight of Swords. So the friend group does comprise of energies here who self-sabotage a lot. Like they put their foot in their mouth or they self-sabotage opportunities. This could be like a friend who's always is dating. Like, they always have a new date, but then they always ruin it. So it's like always a next person. Every week it's a new person, or I don't know. This could even be work self-sabotage, family self-sabotage. Someone here is just a firecracker. That's what it shows. Now, with this person, it is show a lot of stability in this connection with the Four of Wands, or these people. There is a lot of stability here with that Four of Wands. I do feel like in 2026, there will be like a lot of home hangouts or a lot of events or celebrations that you and this social group will attend together, or someone could be planning and bringing you guys together. We have the Eight of Wands here. So again, there's a lot of momentum. There's a lot of momentum. Eight of Wands sometimes also feels like in and out, in and out. So it could be that you're making new friends as you're leaving friend group. So you could be leaving this energy that feels heavy and you're making new friends right away. Okay. So if you are nervous about being lonely, or, you know, I don't want to isolate myself from the group and then I'm like, have no friends, I don't really see that being a problem for you. We also have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands talks about feeling like you're at the end of the road. Like, I can't do this anymore. Something's becoming exhausting. Okay. So we'll see what that's about. It's also a very guarded energy. So you may see that a lot of people that are coming towards you or your friends right now are very guarded to open up to you. Maybe because of judgment. Okay. Not saying that you're a judgmental person, but obviously there's a difference in dynamic versus tame and wild. Someone's very wild, but I don't want to share that with Sag. Okay. Or maybe you're very wild and this friend is like, doesn't want to give their 2 cents because they don't have anything good to say. I don't know. All right. So let's go ahead and clarify that Four of Wands. Okay. I am seeing a lot of celebrations next year, or just even right now, happening between you and your friends. Lots of things to celebrate, lots of having fun, lots of bonding, lots of fun, okay, with that Three of Cups. I'm also seeing the Page of Wands, okay? So someone has an interest in something new here. Someone is discovering something new. There's an interest here. Someone could like you, Sag. I don't know why I'm getting that, because the sexuality thing kind of like threw me off, you know? And then the Page of Wands is like, you know, you're discovering something that you're discovering something within yourself or someone else. You're finding new things, maybe finding new feelings. So someone could have a infinity for you, okay? Like, but in a deep way. Clarify the Page of Wands here. All right, so what is this? Seven of Wands. Okay, so how you'll know who this friend is that may just really be in love with you or falling for you. The Seven of Wands. So either they're going to overly defend you in a situation. You may be bringing something up and they're ready to like go to bats for you. They're going to be, and I know that's not a good example because that's what friends should do, like have your back, but it feels like overly, okay, because they have different intentions. Or they could be getting upset that you don't have their back in something, okay? But it feels not only just like friendship, it feels like as if I'm your man or I'm your woman, okay? So it's a little interesting. Who is this person? Now with that Four of Wands, this could be someone, I don't know, that gives relationship vibes. That's why I'm like, huh? Excuse me? So maybe this person is in a relationship, but how would Sag know who this is? Four of Wands. Sorry, I had to read the Roman numerals. My brain doesn't register that fast. Four of Wands, Four of Wands, Four of Wands. Okay, so this is someone who feels like family to you. This is someone that you possibly built something with. Or this is someone who's in a relationship, but they have some type of affinity for you, which, you know, it is what it is. So that's interesting. We have the Eight of Wands here. It could be a trip coming up for you and your friends next year. There's a lot of conversations, lots of group chats, lots of seeing each other back to back, consistency here. Tell me about the Eight of Wands. Could be you also could be dropping a friend and then meeting a new one right away. So that could also happen for you. What's the Eight of Wands? All right, I do see you playing the role of nurturing, okay? So it feels like maybe you're overextending yourself by just nurturing everyone. So whoever is the angry friend, maybe you try to talk them off the ledge, but that could be getting very tiring for you. Or maybe that friend who needs a shoulder to cry on, you are always there, but it also gets tiring. It's like, can you self-regulate sometimes, okay? So I see you being the Queen of Cups, like nurturing everyone back to health, back to mental health, okay? It does seem like a lot. And the Eight of Wands, it doesn't stop. So also when it comes to chaos, drama, when it comes to, friends getting angry and being into some drama, being sad because they're in some drama, it's like it's nonstop. It's very chaotic with that Eight of Wands. So that may be something that you're feeling tired about. Like you would like someone who's a little bit more emotionally mature. You would like to be friends with someone who can self-regulate some days, Seven of Swords. You also don't trust this person as well. So when this person cries to you, it's almost like the boy or the girl who cried wolf. It's like they're crying to you, they're angry, they're upset about something, but it's also like self-sabotage. Why do you keep doing this if it's going to put you in this place? Why are you still with that person if it's going to put you in this place? Why are you still, why do you still go for that when you know it hurts you? So there's something like, I'm tired of regulating someone who continuously puts themselves in this place. My nurturing, I'm starting to feel like an enabler. Okay, so watch out for that as well. Nine of Wands as well. By the end of next year, you're getting fed up with someone in this friend group. Let's see what that's about. What's the Nine of Wands for Sag? You're wanting new friends. That's what I'm seeing here. You're wanting new friends with that Ace of Wands. You're wanting something new. You're curious about new friendships, new people. You want to expand your reach. You're not looking to dump anyone as a friend. I don't see you being cold or shutting the door. You just would like a different energy. And I need to open my social circle and find that. Maybe people with more interest with you. People that maybe, your interest doesn't have to be going out, even though that's not a bad thing. But I just see you wanting some new friends by the end of next year. And not to dump or leave these friends behind, but more so like, I need a different schedule. Every weekend it's the same shit. I need something different, okay? And the Five of Wands. Five of Wands also gives the energy of knowing that if you do seek new friends, it could cause drama for you, whether your friends will start acting jealous or they'll be angry that you're seeking someone new. They'll feel some type of way. They'll take it personally. So things like that. But I see you revisiting this idea towards the end of next year. You're like, something's got to give because I'm not completely fulfilled here. Yeah, Eight of Cups. So you're wanting to go towards another group of people or maybe just more emotionally mature people. So that's what I have for your friends. Okay, interesting. All right, Sag, this is your children's portion. So this is the energy with your children if you're a parent for the rest of the year and also moving into most of 2026, okay? So yeah, let's talk about it. First and foremost, we have Rider here. So your children, they're going to be sending you some very strong messages about something. Either they're going to possibly bring good news to you, or they're going to send you messages that maybe they're struggling with something or that something's going on with them. So you really need to be in tune and pay a lot of attention to your children during this time. All right. The writer talks about messengers, movement, a message. Sorry, someone's calling me. Traveling. So you could be traveling with your children next year. News coming in, visitor, delivery. I also feel like your children, if they're in the age to do so, they could be bringing more friends home. or asking to have friends over more. Okay. So, I mean, that's good. They're being social. Um, Delivery goals. They also may start to speak about their goals. So you may see that your children are very wise, or they're speaking very mature about what goals they want, what they want to be in life, what their interests are, what their new hobbies are going to be, what their goals are for the new year, what they're going to want to accomplish for the next school year, what sports they want to get into, things like that. Like clearly conveying that message, not being so indecisive anymore. All right, green light is here as well. Progress, lots of progress with your children, and running full speed ahead, which is really nice. Okay. Now we do have ball and chain. So this usually talks about baggage or having something that holds you back. Okay. So there could be baggage that your children may have right now based off of certain circumstances that they dealt with. This is about feeling stuck, feeling weighed down, restrictions, addictions, heavy burdens, baggage, codependency, trapped, and difficult relationships. So I don't know what difficult relationship they have. Hopefully your children are not getting bullied. They may come home and say, hey, I'm dealing with someone who's not so nice at school and it really brings me down. That may be something that you need to target. Or if it's a relationship with a specific parent, or if it's other relationships, if they have a nanny, if they have a babysitter, if they have a coach, if they have, Bible study, pastor. I don't know. There may be a difficult relationship there that they need to bring up and speak to you because something could be weighing them down. And this does worry me a little bit because we do have mice here. And mice talks about illness. So you may see that your children are getting sick, and maybe that's something that you need to get on top of. I see this big energy of like, you need to pay attention because there's messages coming from your children. Okay. So good messages, you're going to get a lot of good things, but also things that may worry you that if you're not really in tune and you're not concentrating, that you may miss, because sometimes children don't really speak up for themselves. Okay. This talks about fatigue. So being really tired as well. That could be like a vitamin deficiency. Okay. Feeling stressed about something. So maybe even like how they deal with stress. Being a child, it's not, hopefully it's not often that they experience stress, but also being a child navigating stress and having their parent to help them navigate that. Now, mice also talks about loss and theft. So your child may experience someone stealing from them, or your child may have some sticky fingers that you'll have to regulate right away. Okay, so look out for that. I also feel like next year is going to be a good time to get your children on a routine, because mice sometimes talks about filth and like not being untidy. And I always associate clutter to a very effed up mind. Like that's how people stay depressed sometimes. So keeping them on a routine, instilling chores in them, checking up behind them. I know it's hard as an adult. You have a lot of responsibilities. It's hard sometimes to check up. Sometimes you don't want to check up because you're going to find something. Then you have to yell. Then you have to regulate. But this is going to be important because I feel like the importance of hygiene, I mean, obviously you instilled that in your children, but sometimes they do what the hell they want to do. Importance of hygiene, dentist stuff. Okay. That's going to be important as well for next year, and doing their chores, creating a regimen or a routine of being orderly. Okay. Being irritated easier. Okay. They may get a little bit more irritable, but that's obvious stress. There's something stressing them. Feeling worried, feeling fearful, having anxiety, nagging you a lot. Okay. There's something that your child is trying to convey that they may not be saying. Okay. Now, you also have pursuit here. So pursuit talks about chasing. So chasing their dreams. They're going to talk about their big dreams and their goals. And this is something that you want to listen to because this actually matters this time. It's not illusion or delusional. It's like they're really speaking from the heart. Persistence. Okay. So, teaching them persistence, that you need to try again till you get it right. That kind of thing. And resilience. We have also ego. So your child could be a little sassy, okay, moving forward. Maybe they're showing signs of being a little arrogant, having too much pride, being stubborn or holding back. So that's also something that, telling you no. Okay. Oh my God. Telling you no. Okay. So yeah, watch out for that. Also, moving is here. So maybe there's going to be a significant move that you have to make for your child's best interest, whether that's like changing schools or maybe you are moving to a new community. Now, if you are in the process of moving and it's already set in stone, your child could struggle with that move. So it could be the best thing for them, but they also may struggle with it because they're being taken away from what they become familiar with. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. All right, let's go ahead and jump into your children's portion for my Saggy parents. For all my Sagittarius parents watching, what do they need to know about their children for the rest of the year? And also moving into 2026, what do they need to know? All right, what I see that's going to be so important for your family, for your children, is having them in very healthy routines or healthy environments. Okay, with that Six of Swords, this does give relocation for some of you. Some of you guys are moving. If that's not it, it's just the energy of transition with the Six of Swords, moving away from chaos, moving away from drama, moving away from toxic energies, and moving your children to get used to and get acclimated to peace. That is happening for you. I see a lot of harmony. Your last card is the Four of Wands. Four of Wands has been coming out for everyone in your reading, Sag. It's like you have one big family, not just your family, but your friends kind of become your family. And obviously your children are your family, but everybody's pulling the Four of Wands. Okay. So there's a lot of closeness with your who you interact with. And then we also have the Star. All right, so I feel like there's a lot of guidance that your children are going to need. Star does talk about your image. So if your child is getting too skinny, maybe they are a picky eater, it's time to try to, teach them the importance of like feeding their body. If they're getting too plump, maybe it's time to put them in sports or something physical, get them into a routine of just not, eating, laying down, playing video games, watching TV, but actually going outside, doing some motion, doing some active activities. So the Star does talk about aesthetics. Star also talks about health. So health may be a big thing. I'm not seeing anything drastic or scary, but you may see that they're getting sick easier, or there is a certain health issue that they need to remedy. I'm also like, I don't know why, but I'm hearing like pre-diabetic, like that, that seems so scary, but it is fixable by just structuring something. And the Star also talks about hygiene. So keeping the house clean, doing your chores, take your bath, okay? Go in the shower, make sure, brush your teeth every morning and every night, things like that. Okay. All right. So bottom of the deck is the Devil. And we also have the Seven of Cups. So with your children, there was this illusion of wanting or feeling comfortable around something that was toxic, okay? So say that you had a toxic partner and the children witnessed a lot of fights, a lot of arguing. Now this person could be out of your life, but they still hold on to that illusion of this person being the father figure or the mother figure and loving them and being part of the family that needs to fade out. And that Devil energy is like, it's something unhealthy that your children could have gotten accustomed to that they need to stop. So for example, like if they went to a school and there was a bad influence in their class and now all of a sudden they're cussing up a storm. They're cursing here, they're cursing there, cursing like a sailor. And it's like, we need to now get you out of that mindset where you felt comfortable that that's okay. It's not okay. All right. Or if someone has sticky fingers, it's like you're kind of like getting addicted to snatching things. I'm going to need you to stop that because you can actually go to jail and I'm not billing you out. Things like that. So some type of bad habits or bad relationship that they need to cut the illusion. And it's going to take you to instill that in them. Okay. Tell me about the Six of Swords. Like, this doesn't have to be so extreme. It could even be like staying up late and now they're waking up with bags under their eyes, like they're working like a 10-hour shift. It's like, I'm gonna need you to go to bed on time, and I'm gonna instill that in you. Okay, so what's the Six of Swords? Okay, so I feel like you have a big focus for your children to put them in an environment that is where the grass is greener, like where they can have the best opportunities, where they can have, the best education, where they can have the best community around them, things like that. So the Two of Wands is here. So you could have been indecisive about this for a while because maybe, making this move or making this transition or whatever you're going to do, it becomes a process. It may cause a lot of time and money, but I do see you going with it. Okay. Also, too, there's a new way that you could be bonding with your children. I don't know what that's about, but it's very peculiar to other people. So I don't know what that is. What is that? It's very weird to other people, but this is how you love your children. So I don't know what that's about. What is that? Tell me about this. You may have a very unique parenting style or a unique way of how you communicate to your children, what you share with them. Other people kind of are like, they think that's bizarre, but it works for you. Okay. Yeah. 10 of Pentacles. This is going to become like traditional. This is how your children are going to do with their children. I don't know what this is about. It could be something controversial, or it could be something that just comes off a little bizarre because people have never tried it before. It's definitely unconventional, but it becomes a tradition for you and your family. This could also be traditions, right? Like you may not do what society expects you to do every holiday. You're doing something different. Okay. So, and I feel like this is how you and your children bond. They're always going to remember my unique Sag mom or dad. Okay. All right. We have the Star. Tell me about the Star here. Okay, so there's healing from possibly I do see that your child was in a situation that you were probably into. So this is more so like a situation that you were in that bled over to your children. Your children felt your pain, your children felt your fatigue, how tired you were getting of the situation. It bled off into them. So it's almost one of those things that as you're going through your healing, remember your children's healing. Like if you're having to seek therapy for a situation, then know that your children also need that same type of care to also change their perception as well. Okay. Nine of Pentacles. I see that you are going to be instilling some type of activity or routine into your children that are going to make them very responsible adults. Okay. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. You could be teaching your children about being mature, being wise, making wise decisions, doing things by the book before they try something else out there. Or you may teach them the importance of hard work, how money helps you to achieve the things that you need to do. So you need to get up and work. You can't be lazy, things like that. Also, too, I do see that your children are going to indulge in the finer things of life. So this could be a trip coming up this year that you're going to plan that they have never experienced before, like a cruise or, taking them on vacation or maybe to Universal, things like that. This could, because those are like the finer things in life for children. Like, what is the finer things in life? They're not buying a Birkin. Okay. But also like maybe different cuisines and food, more elevated restaurants. When it comes to certain brands, maybe giving them like a certain elevated brand, something like that. More elevated spaces, a better community, a better home life, something like that. But definitely healing because Also, it's like if you dealt with a situation where you felt like someone had really bad habits, those bad habits could have rubbed off on your children. So it's now time to do the healing when it comes to that, okay? But I do see that your children will be more independent by 2027. So if they are a little codependent, they're always on you, they're always nagging about something for you to do for them. Whatever you teach them this upcoming year is going to stick with them and they'll be more independent. I see them doing their homework before being told. They could be cooking their own meals, they could be washing their own clothes, things like that. Okay. And saving money, you're teaching them the importance of money. Like if you want to live this certain life, you see how your mom's living, you see how your dad's living, you see how I have nice things, that comes from hard work. So something like that, like make showing them to be self-reliable. All right, anything else? Yeah, we have the awakening card here, which is judgment. So, you know, you're definitely giving your children a second chance to do something that possibly was taken from them, which is going to be very like healing. And also, there's this enlightenment as well. Like, you know, they were following some type of false narrative and some type of toxic narrative possibly, and now you're showing them the way. You're showing them from a healed standpoint, this is how you're supposed to be in life, this is how you should treat people, this is how you should uphold yourself, this is how your character should be, things like that. All right, we have the Four of Wands again. Okay, your children could talk about marriage a lot. So if you're single, Sag, they could be asking you, when are you going to find your husband? Or when are you going to find your wife? Or when are you going to get married? Things like that. There's a lot of talking about where's the other person? Where's your husband? You know? Now, if you are married, I feel like with that Four of Wands, whether you're married or not, that Four of Wands just talks about a very harmonious home life. Okay. So you may start to find that you really appreciate your children because they are going to, as you're teaching them about, you know, helping you and being responsible so you don't have to check up behind them all the time, they're going to start to play a very significant role in your home life. Okay. So there's something harmonious with that, whether you're teaching the boys to take out the trash every Tuesday morning and then also put it back after they've taken it out, or to go get the mail, or can you start the rice, or can you wash the laundry? I do see them starting to step up more, which is really nice. Now, those of you who are older, like, you know, older where your child is adult, then your child could be getting married. Okay. They could be finding the one, or they will reveal to you soon that they got proposed to or that they proposed, or they're going to let you in on the proposal. Like, hey, you know, I'm about to propose. How should we do this? Things like that. All right. Tell me about the Four of Wands. All right. King of Pentacles. I feel like because you are structuring your children so well, that it allows you to just focus on your financial goals and, you know, other things. Like things start to take a very calm pace, which is so nice. You're leaving chaos, drama, and toxicity, and you're moving towards a more peaceful future. And as you're moving closer and closer to that, and as your children are giving some effort helping you to stay productive, I see your finances increasing. Okay, so you could be getting a big promotion. Maybe this is why your children are going to be enjoying the finer things in life with their Birkin and their champagne. But as you start to structure your household more and you're bonding with your children, you're telling them, hey, be self-reliant. Like, I can't do everything for you. What are you going to do when you move out of here? Your finances increase. Okay, so I don't know what that's about, but that's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. All right, we have the Ace of Wands as well. You could be celebrating someone's, for my older parents, you could be celebrating someone's like big achievement, whether they're going to get married or if they just bought a home or if they're graduating. You're celebrating that with money. So you're going to be giving out a big paycheck to your child because you're happy about their, you know, efforts, that they're achieving something. For my older parents. All right. I see that your children are going to have a major achievement in 2026, and it's going to allow them to have more progress in their life, like not feeling held back. If something was holding them back, whether it was a strained relationship with someone, or if it was, just being around some drama or chaos, they're coming out of that. They're healing. They're becoming more independent. They're becoming more focused. They're very goal oriented. And for my older parents, I see a child reaching a big milestone that you will be celebrating with them. You could be throwing a party, and you also will be footing the bill. But I feel like you have it like that, okay? All right, that's your children portion. So let's move on to pets. Hi, Sag. All right, so this is your pets portion. I'm so sorry. I'm dying because this is so silly, and even the cards that are coming out are so silly to me. Okay, so I'm gonna try to like be chill. All right, so this is for Saggies who have a significant pet or significant pets in your life, okay? So if you don't have a pet, this isn't for you. Come back another time when you get one, all right? So first card coming out for your pet, Sag, or your pets is denial. Okay, denial. All right, so they could be refusing to do something. I don't know, like maybe this is like if you need to take them for a vet visit. They are just like fighting you to come. They could be like pulling against their harness or pulling against their collar, There's a very defiant energy. Like if you have cats and you need to give them flea treatment, or you need to, do an ear treatment, or give them a bath, very much in denial, like, no, I don't need this. If you're changing their food for health reasons, in denial. Like I just know that maybe if I wake up tomorrow, they'll buy me the right food, things like that. So I just see your animal being in denial about something, not facing the reality of something. Maybe a pet is getting older and you need to help them to do certain things, and they've been very independent since then. So they could just be in denial about something, or they do not like a recent change that you made. There's a recent change that you made that they cannot believe. They're in shock. They're still in shock, and they're almost going through the stages of denial. Okay? So, yeah. Okay, that's funny. All right, we also have ghost. Okay, so this pet feels like you leave them behind too much. You're always disappearing. You're very cold, and you give them no contact. Okay, so there could be a pet here who wants more cuddles, more love. Maybe they're spoiled like that. Maybe they want to be held more. They want to come with you. Why doesn't mom or dad ever take me for a ride? They're always leaving me, that kind of thing. If you went on vacation, that's even worse. How dare you leave me behind? Okay. All right, last but not least. I mean, not last but not least. Okay, this card says gamble. They feel like you've been okay, so first of all, your pet doesn't trust you right now because poker face is here. So they feel like you come and you're trying to show good intentions, but you always disappear. You always leave them. You're always trying to feed them something they don't want to eat. So they don't know whether to trust you when you're coming in for a cuddle, when you're coming in for a pet. They're like, I don't trust this sly master, okay? They feel like you've been taking a lot of risk, okay? So on the bottom of this deck, we have Forbidden. Forbidden talks about love affairs and temptations, flirting and giving into pleasure. So maybe they feel like there's too many strange people coming into your room. But if that's not it, Sag, then this also could be like say you're multitasking and you're cooking a meal and you have it on high because you're so hungry you can't wait. And then you're going upstairs to do something. Then you come back downstairs and then the stove is smoking. And then your pet is like, you almost killed us, bitch. Okay? So they feel like you're taking a little bit too many risks. They feel like maybe when someone's around, you don't show them your feelings, your love for them, and that you've been rolling the dice lately. Okay? All right. They also feel fireworks for you. So there's a lot of passion in this connection. There's a lot of chemistry. your pet could be more horny than usual, like humping a lot of things, or I know some pets like they cry when they're horny, which is even worse. Okay, but we have lust here and desire and kiss. So I feel like they're wanting to procreate, or they're just wanting to have, animal sex. Okay, so I don't know what that's about. Celebrate is here, so maybe they're expecting something soon. They're expecting something for the holidays. Maybe you always give them a Christmas gift. I don't know. They are very happy. They are excited also for the new year, which is funny. They get excited when they see you, or they have a lot of excitement when you're around. And I do feel like your animal is very horny, because this also talks about hot sex. So, or maybe they're seeing you do that, All right. Now they also see blueprints, so they feel like you're planning something. Maybe that's why you're so busy, because you've been very focused lately. So they see that you're carefully planning something. They think of you as a visionary. You could be building something. Maybe you have renovations going on in your building and they can hear those things. Maybe you just got new furniture and you built it up from, the ground up, and they thought that was so amazing that you did that. Now, they also, instructions is here. So I feel like you're giving them a lot more orders or instructions, or you're maybe training your pet. But again, we see denial here, so there could be a lot of reluctance to that. And yeah, they also believe that the things that you've been manifesting are coming true. So this talks about thoughts becoming things. So things that you probably get excited about, or what you've been manifesting for yourself, they feel like you're attaining that right now. And I don't know how they would know that, but that is funny. All right, last but not least, we have walking boots. I really get this energy that your pet wishes that they were a human so they could follow you everywhere. Okay. So this talks about wanting to go on a journey, wanting to take that car ride with you. Why can't I come? Wanting to have an adventure. So maybe they're wanting some new surroundings, to be brought outside more. They also very self-reliant, so very independent. Let's see what else is here. Yeah, freedom and independence. They also just may want to, I don't know if you have a cage for your animal, or maybe even like a collar, but something is becoming too restrictive. Or maybe if they're not allowed in certain rooms, they're wanting to rebel against that. So look out for that. Okay. All right, really quickly, what can you tell me about Sagittarius's pets? What can Sagittarius expect with their pet for the end of the year and moving into 2026? All right, we have the Sun, a very happy pet, very, very happy, okay? We have the Sun, we have the Hierophant, also going to become more disciplined. So if they're giving you a hard time right now, in 2026, they will be more disciplined with the Hierophant. And we have the Seven of Cups. Lots of daydreaming. Lots of daydreaming about what they want. Could be in a daze very often. Very quiet sometimes, just like daydreaming a lot. I don't know what that's about. That's interesting. All right, so we have the Sun, the Hierophant, and the Seven of Cups, okay? Also with that Hierophant, your pet has gotten used to whatever dynamic you have. So if it's just you and your children and the pet, then they're used to that. And if someone new comes into the picture, they could get very agitated, okay? So they don't want to stray away from the principle or tradition or what they're used to. So if you are dating new people, that does agitate your animal if they are coming into their home. They're like, wait a minute, you didn't run this by me, okay? But yeah, let's see with the Sun. What is your pet the most happiest about in 2026? What is your pet the most happiest about? Okay, so there's someone here that okay, so I guess this is happening. So, Three of Wands to the Three of Swords. Right now, your pet is hoping for a ending of some type of disappointing situation. maybe you're dating someone that they don't consider to be very nice to them, or they don't trust fully, or maybe you're in a living situation that also could be a little chaotic for them, but they're anticipating this ending. They're anticipating some type of breakup or heartbreak, and they're happy about that. Okay, what? Like, hello? What is this about? They're wanting something to become a more peaceful, calmer environment, and they feel like whoever you're associated to right now, or whatever situation you're in right now, they're hoping that it ends for you and for them. Okay? So, what is this about? Eight of Pentacles as well. So since you got into this situation, they feel like you haven't been a perfectionist with them. Like maybe you used to, really be a perfectionist, like, check their ears, check their eyes, every day. Make sure that they're fed on a certain routine, a certain time, making sure they have the best of the best food. So they're associating this to a situation that they consider to be over or is coming to an end for you, or they want you to sever ties with that situation, because ever since you got into that situation, you've been lacking on your perfectionist attitude towards them. They don't feel as spoiled or as nurtured as they once did. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want to confuse myself. All right, so tell me about the Hierophant for this pet. All right, we have the Fool and we have the Queen of Wands. As you start to get more confident and more self-assured in 2026, you're going to be changing up your routine, your hobbies, your interests, your life quite a bit, right? And so with that is the Fool. You're rediscovering yourself. You're on a new journey, finding new things, new hobbies, new social groups. And you're attracting a lot of stuff too with that Queen of Wands, okay? Now your pet got used to a certain way of things, but with these changes, they do not want anything to change. So it's like you could live your life outside those doors, but when you come home, my food better be in my thing by 6 p.m. Or, I better be getting these back rubs by 9. So as you're attracting a lot of, you could be attracting a new way of doing things, a new lifestyle. You can have that, but when you come into these four walls, I need you to be doing the same thing that I always was used to. I don't need you to be switching it up. So there's a concern here with your pets or your pets about that. And then what is this Seven of Cups? What are they daydreaming about? Okay, if you do give your pets some type of sedative, or, I don't know I know cats, like catnip gets them pretty high. I don't know what it is for dogs or horses or whatever. There could be something that you're giving your pet that puts them in a dream state, and they could be, I don't want to say addicted to it, but they will be thinking about this all the time. It could be a one-time thing, like a doggy melatonin chew. I don't know if that exists or if that's harmful to dogs, so forgive me. But they think about it often. It's like it could be a one-time thing. This could even be like a treat. You get them a really nice treat, but it's not going to come every month. Like that was a one-time thing. They will continuously dream about this. Like it was so good to them. Okay, what is this? The Seven of Cups? I don't see any actions, but just dreaming about it so much. Let's see. Yeah, the Empress. Okay, so what else? And the Moon. Also, your pet could be very confused in life, which I feel like all pets are, but they're seeing you as a mother figure or a father figure. So they're seeing you as their mom or their dad. That's not really confusing, but it is confusing because the Moon. So it's like an illusion. And look at the dog in this. Look at the dog in the picture. It's like you obviously didn't come out of me, but I am adopting that role as your mom and your dad. So there's a lot of like searching for the answers in life. Like, if this is my mom, then why do I look like this? Or why do I, have to be down here? Why can't I stand up tall? So there's a lot of daydreaming about that, which is so interesting. Okay. So Empress to the moon, like, also Empress, Seven of Cups and the moon also is like thinking about how you got so lucky in life. Like, how did I become so abundant in life where, I'm always having food whenever I want? I have toys, galore. I'm able to lay and get my belly rubbed. How did I get into this lifestyle? Okay. Yeah, Knight of Cups. Like, they really love the life that you give them or that they will have in 2026, and lots of daydreaming about it. It's so interesting, that one. Okay, but also falling in love with you even more with the Empress and the Knight of Cups. Wondering how they got so lucky in this lifetime, which is so funny. And wondering also too, like, how are you my parent, but we look so different? I don't know. It's so weird. Okay, so that is your pet portion. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this little kooky reading that we did today. It was a ton of fun. Make sure to like the video before you go. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And give me some more ideas about what you guys want me to read on the Sagittarius only channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will speak to you soon. All right, bye guys.